Hey, what is going on, everyone? Thank you for stopping by to watch another episode here at All I See Is W. Well, today I wanted to create this video because it's been nearly almost a week now where I've produced a new content on YouTube. I wanted to share with you insights on the overall stock market, as well as providing to you insights on tickers that I personally feel can add so much value to your investment portfolio. Before I begin though, I'd like to inform you that anytime when you do consider making an investment, please make sure to do your research. Now, the first ticker I wanted to talk about is RIOT blockchain by the ticker RIOT. This is a ticker where it was previously hovering at the low single digits and bull run all the way up to like $70. I was previously recommending this ticker at the time when it was like in the low single digits, and it's great to see that we see valuation with this company. However, right when it hit the mid 70s, it started going downward, and today it dropped by like 10%. It's currently at the share price of like mid $45. I personally feel that right now, with the current state of the stock market, really with just Jerome Powell printing out more money, and there's talks about how there's going to be inflation, to me, I just personally feel like if you are a retail investor, it's great to buy on these dips, because I know that RIOT blockchain will reach its prior resistance, if not beyond that. We heard talks about Bitcoin going up to like 100,000 per coin, right? So if and when that happens, then there will be increase in RIOT blockchain's overall share price. And the fact that it had announced its CEO back in February 8th, this just tells you that there's maturity in this company. And looking at its financials, we know that the price to earnings ratio was about $70. So that's looking very solid in terms of just its finances and its growth in this New York City company. So overall, I personally feel that RIOT blockchain can hover up back to its prior resistance up into the 70s, if not beyond that, if we know that Bitcoin's going to be going up beyond the 100,000 per coin. So let's not lose sight of Bitcoin and RIOT blockchain, because to me, I personally feel that it can add value to your investment portfolio, and take advantage on the dips, because as these share prices begin to dip, that's when you want to continue buying, because the more you buy on the dips, the more you'll have shares for these companies, and that will allow for you to gain on significant positive proceeds rather than buying at the high point, right? So that's my recommendation to you. Buy on the dip so you can maximize your quantity of shares, because in the long run, let's say if you are a long-term investor, then you could gain significantly. And we know that it would have been best if you got in like at $8, $10, right? Where you see it gain by like 7x. However, now is the time as well, with it being at the $40, because it can get back up, and just wanted to give my insight with you on RIOT blockchain. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is SKYE Bioscience by the ticker SKYE. Now, this ticker was previously hovering at like 13 cents, 12 cents back in mid-February. It was accumulating at that point. However, towards week 4 of February up through today, the share price has been tumbling down to the 8 cents range, and now it's at around the high 8 to 9 cents threshold. Now the question is, can this ticker bull run up to its prior resistance? I personally feel that it definitely can, and it can gain by like 10x, 100x, because we know that this company based out in San Diego is working on a prodrug using cannabinoids, by bioengineering that product, adding amino acids so that it can support glaucoma patients. Now, these patients are dealing with blindness, and they're reverting to traditional drugs that's commercialized, where it's basically just putting a band-aid on the actual symptom, but not really providing a solid corrective and preventive action. So that's why I personally feel that with SKYE Bioscience, it's a leading pioneer in disrupting and unlocking the future potential in cannabinoid science, and also adding value, advancing medical unmet needs for patients that really need indications for improving its eyesight. So from a share price standpoint, I firmly believe that with SKYE Bioscience, if held long term, let's say if you hold up through 2022, up through Q1 or possibly Q4, the share price can go beyond the whole dollar share price range, and I'm forecasting around the $3 to $10. We know at this time, with the stock market taking a downward trend, I know if and when this company releases its preclinical trials data regarding superior reduction in intraocular pressure compared to the traditional drug products such as latanoprost made by large-scale companies, then that'll just tell you that there's going to be the trust and respect, and for those reasons the share price will hover up, as well as its neuroprotection studies. If it can demonstrate that it provides neuroprotection to the optic nerve cells, then that will be the preventive action for glaucoma patients with normal IOP levels. And just recently, February 2nd, the company announced its financial results, and just by looking at the financial results, it seems as though the cash flow burn rate has been improving, and while its assets in terms of finances continue to increase, its liabilities and expenses continue to decrease year over year. And for those reasons, this company will have enough financial support to go through phase 1 clinical trials, which is estimated to be in Q3 of this year. And I forecast that phase 1 will take place in Q3 of this year, with results possibly being released in Q4, Q1 of 2022. And the inflection point will likely come once phase 2 clinical trials begins with passing phase 1, and that's when institutions will start investing money into this company, and that right there will be the inflection point of this company, where the share price will be beyond like $3 from my perspective. So that's why I firmly believe this is going to be a very solid company in the long run, and it'll be a disruptor in terms of providing value to patients that really need a drug that actually works. You know, I've got comments from real actual glaucoma patients where these patients are using the traditional drug products, and they would have to use steroids on top of the drug to support with the reduction in intraocular pressure, because these commercial drugs are not really effective in a sense where it's adding value. And just hearing that from like the voice of the patients, that just tells you that these companies like SKYE Bioscience will add value. And we know to date there aren't too many companies that's leveraging cannabinoid science, and that's why to me this is a pioneer company. And I know that with its rebranding, its new CEO in place, and its relationship with University of Mississippi, that just tells you that there's years and years of research put in place to develop THC VHS, and we know that the CBD VHS in the long run will have multiple indications for use for various disease states out there, and that's why the sky's the limit with this company. It can definitely add value in the long run and tap into different medical unmet needs all around the world. Now, from a share price standpoint, where it's at right now, around the 8 to 9 cents, I feel like it's definitely a value add investment for the long term, because you can gain on like 100x on your investment at this time once it goes up to like $3 to $10, similar to when I was making predictions on ZOM at 7 cents. Now, next ticker I wanted to share with you is ZOM. What's so unique about this company, right? Well, ZOM is trying to advance medical unmet needs in our companions such as dogs and animals, at least adding value for veterinarians and increasing productivity, efficiency in the lab, and also providing high accuracy point of tests for clinical diagnostics to determine whether animals have thyroid problems. And from a share price standpoint, where the share price is today compared to where it was previously back in like December of 2020, the share price has gained like over 1,000% if you had listened to my input on this company long ago. However, from a share price standpoint, I feel like it can definitely still continue to grow, because we know that True Pharma will be announced coming end of this quarter, and into April we shall see commercialization where it'll be distributed all around the United States. So I firmly believe that this Michigan-based company will begin to gain on significant positive proceeds, gaining on positive return on cash flow after putting so much effort on the research and development and the manufacturing of these products. So that's why this company will start gaining on just finances. And from a share price standpoint, I firmly believe that it can get up to like $5 quite easily, and perhaps even up to potentially $12. So let's not ignore its potential with this company. Now, with Zomedica, we know that the current share price has been tumbling down today, but it can definitely gain on positive proceeds, so let's not lose sight of that aspect. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is Tesla by the ticker TSLA. Now, we know that the high was like at around the $950. However, now it's gone close to the threshold of like 600, getting close to the borderline of like 599. However, I firmly believe that if you were to buy the dip on this time frame, then you can gain on positive proceeds, because you're investing on like one of the greatest companies with Tesla, and we know that it can definitely add value, because I mean, Elon is like sending like satellites all around outer space right now. We know with this electric vehicle, it's doing automated driving, and we know that it has, you know, the Model S, Model 3, Model Y, the different van models. So it will continue to grow in the long run, and we know that it's going to start producing actual trucks. And with its facility in Texas, I firmly believe that that's where the main manufacturing site will be for truck production. And from a share price standpoint, if you were to buy on the dips now, it can definitely gain up into the $1,000, let's say by April, May. So I would take advantage of buying on the dips. Let's say if you are an existing investor, I wouldn't sell right now, because you wouldn't want to react holding on to one of the greatest companies right now, but instead consider just purchasing more of Tesla. Or let's say if you are a new investor, now is a great time to continually purchase on its downward trend, and once it goes up, then you will gain on positive proceeds. Right now with the current stock market, it just seems as though the large scale companies are just trying to manipulate the current share prices so that they actually can buy your shares. And for those who are holding long term, not reacting, you will be the ones who will gain. And for those who react and sell their shares, those will be the people who would take a loss, because you know, looking at a zoomed out view of the S&P and Dow Jones, you will just see an upward trend while you'll see these small little corrections. But overall, from a zoomed out perspective, the trend line tends to go upward. So that's why I take advantage of these downward dips, and you can gain significantly in the stock market. So overall, I hope that these tickers provided value in a sense that it gave you insight on how to purchase your stocks. I mean, especially when you're buying on down days, that's when you can gain and maximize the quantity of shares. And where to buy? Well, I'm showing you the high quality stocks to buy right now. So overall, I hope that this video added value, and thank you for watching another episode here at All I See Is W. Thank you. Have a great day, y'all. Goodbye.